Hello, sports fans. Welcome to another edition of VetsPlusSports.com. I am your host, Terrell Cool Beans Davis, and along with my co-host, Mr. James Miller.
Hello, everyone. How y'all doing on this Saturday night? Hoping y'all having a good weekend. Um, I'm excited and about what's here in the next couple weeks. You know, football's starting kickoff, and these preseason games really don't mean much. But before we get started in this episode, I'll let Cool Beans start off thanking our listeners.
Yes, we'd like to thank y'all for listening to us, those that catch the live and those that will be catching the replay. We also like to thank our audio listeners for listening to us. We got our number one cities, Brussels, Belgium, uh, Grinzak Weilen, Germany, Ashburn, Virginia, San Jose, California, and Boardman, Washington. We appreciate you listening to us. And to all the cities around the nation and worldwide, thanks for listening.
Yes, thanks for listening, and um, we for tuning in whenever you can, and we'll get started in this episode here. And the Olympics is starting to wrap up, Cool Beans.
Mhm.
And right now, got it up. Um, the United States is racking in the medals. The medal count now total is 122 medals, 38 gold, 42 silver, and 42 bronze. And that gold count is one behind China with 39. So the women should knock out a gold tomorrow with the women's basketball. So that should do that'll give us a tie. And I don't know what else they have left as far as the events goes,
Yeah, because
but
they say closing ceremony is supposed to be tomorrow. So, and what time is the women's game? Is it like is that one of the ones that's going to be at 5 o'clock in the doggone morning or something?
well, I'm getting ready to tell you right now. I'll bring up. Let's get ready to bring up that schedule because we'll go over. Let's see here because I'm going to mention the men's game today. The men pulled out gold, and I watched that game.
I did too.
Let's see what it's showing here tomorrow. Well, the women's plays at 9:30 in the morning.
9:30 in the morning. I figured it
So,
had to be an early game.
and then we'll back up to the on the 8th. You know, talking about the men. You know, they beat Serbia
Uh huh.
95-91. Um, and I watched the fourth quarter of that, and that was they had to do a comeback. And then today, I tell you what, I think U.S. tried to give that game away today. I
Yeah.
mean, they pulled away with what 13 point lead
Yep.
around the halftime, then come out and it was turnover after turnover after turnover.
But
But
mm, what I was going to say about that, you got the Serbia game and today's game. They had, and this is what thing I don't get what the announcer said. Steph Curry brought them back in both those games.
yeah, he
And
did.
they were talking about this might be his one and only chance in the Olympics to
Well,
win gold.
this is his only time I think he's been in the Olympics to play.
No,
I
this
think
was the first time he played.
yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's his first time he's ever played into the Olympics. He's turned the others down for other reasons. Um, so this was going to be his only shot. I guess unless he don't come back. I don't know how old he is. So, but you know, he scored I think 60 points in the last two games.
Yeah.
Um, but you know, I was watching that game today. I was getting excited. I was like, I may start becoming a LeBron James fan. Then I
He
said,
did pretty good.
nah. I'll give him props. He did good. He looked good. And I like that move in the middle of the paint that he did when he was driving that spin move at 39 years old. Um,
Right.
he still had the moves and stuff to be 39, but Now that beard of his is starting to show the age.
I know. I liked it with the gray on his sides. I was like, oh man, he didn't dye that beard. And I was looking. Did you see the LeBron poster today?
No, I didn't. I didn't.
The LeBron poster. It was what you call it. Old dude from France, Young Bleezy or whatever his number 7. I can't pronounce his name. He dunked on
Oh
like.
yes, yes. Yeah, I seen that. And here's my thing. I seen where he got dunked on. Why did he try to get the charging? Why didn't he go up to block that?
I,
I mean, he should have went up to block that.
especially you see how big that dude is. He is like so much thicker than LeBron. I was like, he should have been moving the hell out the way.
But I was going to mention something. We was talking about. You mentioned the other night, or maybe the episode before, talking about you don't have that cylinder rule uh, in the FIBA like you do the NBA, where you
Mhm.
go up. You don't have that cylinder rule, and something else that they mentioned, Dwayne Wade there, that was helping announce that game. Um, you remember in the NBA, you can't play a true center in the paint on defense,
Right.
but there you can play a 2-3 defense.
Hmm.
So that changes stuff up a little bit there too. Um, but I'll tell you, France looked good. France
They
looked really
did.
good for the young players that they got. That what's his name, Wimby or
I like his game because
he
when he was in there, when he's there at center, it was like all business, and the U.S. team was like having to struggle to score. They were shooting outside and everything, but then when you bring in Gobert, it was pretty much open.
um and he plays for San Antonio Spurs,
Yeah.
and they mentioned that he didn't. I guess this past year, his offense, there was no offense or something, but they said his
Hmm.
offense showed up here in the Olympics.
Right.
But I think they had what 5 or 6 NBA players on that France team, something like
Yeah,
that.
they had 4. They had 4 on the
4.
France team. The
Um,
one that was loaded was Canada, and I thought Canada would do. I thought they was gonna beat France, and they didn't. I don't know when they played. They got to play. France got to play. Not France. France automatically gets the silver since they lost,
yeah, yeah,
but
they
then they
got
got
silver.
Serbia and Canada got to play for the bronze. I don't know when that game is.
I don't know if it's Canada. Canada got knocked out earlier.
They did. I thought France just
Yes,
beat them.
France. You got Germany. You got Germany. France beat Germany. Canada got knocked out. Yeah, it was. They got knocked out early.
Oh, my bad. I thought they was in it.
No, no, they wasn't in it. They got knocked out early. That's when France beat them. That was back on the 6th.
Okay.
That knocked them out. So I don't know. Um, let's see here. Men's August 10th. Uh, Now they already played. They played this morning. Germany and Serbia. That's right. Serbia got the bronze. They won 93-83.
Oh, okay.
So that's taken care of there.
So Joker
Um,
still gets a medal.
he still gets a medal. But that was that game. I mean, USA that lineup was loaded,
Yeah, it was.
and I'm just going to say it now. Steph Curry is probably the best shooter ever to play in the NBA as far as shooter. Not I'm
Hmm.
not I'm not saying the best overall player, but as far as shooting that ball, I mean he's what 6'2", 6'3" tops,
Yeah.
and for him to shoot the ball like he does over them tall guys, he can fall away.
Oh, did you see that one today where he shot over Wembley? Wembley almost got it.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
ball had to go up. It arced up high
But
and
the
it
thing
hit.
is, he practices these shots. That's what people don't realize.
Yeah.
You go watch his highlights or before the game. He practices these shots. This ain't like something he's just throwing up. Um, he practices these half court shots, then long shots, them shots you see there, that fadeaway where he's got that arching rainbow shot.
Hmm.
This is stuff he does all the time. So this is like it's not something he's just throwing up. But I mean, he's tough. But I mean, the turnovers the second half is what put France back into that ball game. I
Yeah.
mean, Curry turned it over 2 times in a row. LeBron did twice. Um, and like I told you when we was talking before, why in the world is LeBron taking the ball out?
I know, right?
He's never taken the ball out. He's the one usually getting the ball thrown to him.
Exactly. And it
he,
was funny too. Talk about that. Oh, he did a no look pass to
and,
to
and
Durant.
and he threw it away. But that was a good game. Hats off. U.S. Men's come with the gold, and I'd say tomorrow the women will get their gold. And today, sitting there with the baby, we was watching some of the Olympics and was watching breaking, and that was pretty neat watching it. Victor from USA, he came out with the bronze, but that was pretty neat watching that. That's the first time they
Mhm.
came to the Olympics this year. But I was just sitting there, I had the little boy there, the little baby. He was enjoying that. He was kicking his legs watching that.
Right. And that's the funny thing. It's just like, but we've talked about, I don't know if we talked about it just personally or we talked about it on air. We're always talking about why they won't put American football in the Olympics.
Well,
But
they
then
got
again, we said that none of the professional players could play.
no, they couldn't. And I something like 28, the Olympics is going to be in LA.
Hmm.
They're adding flag football. They're adding softball and baseball is being added to it in 28.
Wait, I thought baseball was already part of it. It's not?
I thought it was, but well, it said ads. It said baseball slash softball, so I don't know
Hmm.
for 28. Uh, but I thought it was already. But
That's what I thought.
yeah, so I don't know. That's when he's looking to try to see what new ads they had this year, and it was showing what's coming in 28 and stuff, and then in the winter games in 26, it was
Oh,
showing
get
different stuff.
this. Um, I checked on IG. I got this from on IG. I just about to say it, and I just got to think about where I got it. Why do I always take the bait? It's like I'm about to say we got to do a retraction because the one that dropped out is suddenly back in it, and they boxing for the gold medal. And I was
Okay.
like, how they just drop out and then go get back in and some boxing for the gold medal? And then I was like, wait a minute, I just got to talk about where I got it from.
Well, I looked that up on the computer, and it says something about dropping out on the computer, but
Yeah, because we was on
you
that
can.
last week talking about that.
It's like you if you Google stuff anymore, Google ain't too much being reliable anymore. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, we'll see what the final medal count is. I guess basketball is that's it for tomorrow, ain't it?
Yep, that's it. Once that women's game is over at 9:30 in the morning, which means I wonder if they already played their bronze game already too.
No, it's at 5 o'clock in the morning.
The bronze is 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, yeah, 5 o'clock in the morning, and then at 9:30 is the gold medal.
Yep. Okay.
Now it was showing it there when I was watching it after the game. We're watching the basketball game. The USA track and field racked up uh, this year. They ended up with like 34 medals. 11 of those were gold. And man, the women's 4x4. I don't know what the distance was. They blew. They wasn't. It wasn't even a close race. To me, I mean, it was looking like it was probably she won that by 50, 60 yards.
Dang.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't even close. She that fourth runner, she just, I mean, she blew it. She was way ahead. And that 4x4, but or that 4 by relay, but I don't know how many meters that one was, but they ended up with they tore it up with 34 medals and 11 golds out of that. So they done pretty good there in the track and field as well. But
Right.
We'll be moving right along here. Um, let's get into some other stuff. Not a whole lot going on in the NBA, really. I don't think.
I didn't hear anything NBA wise as
And
far as like I guess it's because of the Olympic basketball. Everything is just quiet right now. There was no moves going on. I didn't hear nobody like another. I think I did on the but that was just on the Facebook. Uh, and that was like a few days ago. I want to say it was like Monday or Tuesday that the what you call it there was a guy from OKC. He retired, and I just posted on the Facebook page. But that's the only thing I really heard about basketball.
I ain't heard nothing at all. Um, but baseball's still going right on right now. And everything else. So let's see what some scores are from the night in the majors. I know them Braves keep losing now. The last couple of days, it's been coming to
Oh
in,
man, they was just getting back in it. It was shrinking that lead.
and well, tonight they're playing right now in Colorado. Tonight they're in the middle of the third. They're winning as of right now 5-3.
Okay.
Um, out and then they're playing in DC. Anaheim Angels and the Nationals, and they are in the bottom of the ninth right now, and they're tied up 4-4. That could be going to extra innings. In Minnesota, the Guardians are playing, and the Guardians are winning 2-1 in the bottom of the seventh. In KC, you got Cardinals. They're battling it out, and the Royals are winning 6-2. Down in Tampa, the Orioles are playing the Rays. The Orioles are winning 4-3 in the bottom of the sixth. In Chicago, you got I guess I don't know if you call that a Subway series or whatever. You got the Cubs and the White Sox playing,
Hmm.
and it's 1-1 in the top of the seventh. And out in Arizona, you got the Phillies and Diamondbacks playing. Diamondbacks are up 2-0 at the end of the third. Out in LA, you got the Dodgers and the Pirates. They're in the bottom of the first, just getting started. There is no score in that game. And at 9:40, you got in Seattle, you got New York Mets kicking off at 9:40. And the finals that we have today, the Yanks beat the Rangers 8-0. The Athletics beat the Blue Jays 1-0. The Giants beat the Tigers 3-1. The Astros beat the Red Sox 5-4. The Padres beat the Marlins 9-8. The Rangers beat the Yankees 9-4. And the Brewers beat the Reds 1-0. Um, we'll get on up here to the standings and everything. Let's see where they at. The Yankees just lost. So as of right now, Yankees are half a game back on the Orioles. Now get this here. Now this is getting a little tight in the Central, in the AL Central. The Indians only got a game and a half lead on Minnesota right now, and only 3.5 on those Royals. Let's go KC. Then out west, it's getting tight there. Houston Astros have a half a game lead on Seattle, which they're getting ready to play here in a little bit.
Hmm.
Um, Getting over to the National League, starting in the East. And like I said, them Braves have been losing. Well, they're in third place now in that division. The Phillies got an 8-game lead on the Mets and an 8.5-game lead on the Braves.
Wow.
Which, if the Braves would win tonight, they'd be tied with the Mets if they pull off that win in Colorado. And then you get to the Central, you've got the Brewers got a 7.5-game lead on the Cardinals in that division. And then out west, the Dodgers has got a only a 2-game lead on San Diego. So you're starting to see that dwindle down for for the Dodgers.
Right. You inadvertently said something that I wanted to talk about. But right now, let's go ahead and get those that want to help support the channel. We got it to where you can buy us a coffee. We got it on the screen right now that you can go ahead and support the channel, help us continue to bring the content that we are bringing to you right now. Especially if you like the content and you even can help us make it even better. But you had inadvertently said something that I was thinking about, and I've never said it. It was like cause like okay, Chicago got two baseball teams. They got the Cubs and they got the White Sox. But it's always been one of those teams that is like when you have a town that has two teams, you got one that they like and the other one they hate. It's just like the Yankees. That's New York's baseball team. It's the Yankees.
Yep.
Everybody hate the the Mets. Nobody liked the Mets. And when it came to football, yeah, if I had to go with a New York team, I would take the Giants over the Jets any day. And except for right now, it's probably the Jets is better, but but you would go with the Giants. Giants.
I don't know if it's Giants or Jets. It's like a toss up. It's like flip a coin. And for me, yeah, which the Yankees ain't been there in there a while, so I kind of feel sorry for them, but not really. But I've always hated the Yankees because they was like those Cowboys of yours. It's America's team. It's not
Right.
my team. It's not my team. No, it's not America's team.
Yeah,
And
like
that's how the Yankees was.
exactly.
So, but I'm gonna see if I can't look this up. It hadn't been too long ago. Well, maybe been longer than I think. Maybe I'm time's done slipped me. They had a Subway series um, in the World Series between the Yankees and Mets. They both
Oh.
made it to the World Series. If I'm getting ready to look it up, but if I'm not mistaken, I think the Yankees swept that series. Um, let's find out.
I can see that happening because I was sitting there thinking just about that. Like I said, I wasn't a baseball fan, but even so, like I'm not a baseball fan. I knew Derek Jeter was a Yankee. I knew what you call it, A Rod was a Yankee. I remember those. They were there when the Yankees were doing big time. There's even a cartoon, Fairly Odd Parents, when they was making fun of the Yankees. They called them the New York Bankies, and they had
Mhm.
all the money hanging out their pockets and everything.
All right, like I said, time's slipping me. It was in the 2000 World Series is when they
Okay.
played. So that's 24 years ago.
Hmm.
Um, and it said the Yankees won. I'm trying to see if I'm pretty sure they swept that series. Now they won it 4-1,
4-1.
4-1. But man, that's when they had Jeter. That's when they had Rivera. I mean, that's when the Yanks were loaded in the '90s. They were tough. They beat my Braves in what was it 96, 94. Braves won it in 95, but they knocked the Braves out. Maybe 4-0, swept them, or 4-1. They was just tough, man. Into the '90s, into the early 2000s.
Right.
Um, and then they started trying to buy championships. That one year they had a loaded. It was an all-star batting lineup,
Hmm.
and they missed. They didn't even make the playoffs. And I mean, it was an all-star lineup. You look at that lineup, and you're like, "There's no way they're not going to the World Series." Well, they didn't even make it to playoffs.
Right.
So, I mean, they were trying to buy championships uh, and everything else, and
Well, that was
but
like the better part because remember, like I said, baseball don't have no salary cap.
no, I don't think that. No, they don't. So they can spend whatever they want. And while I got this up right now, Aaron Judd has still got 41 home runs. Otani's behind him with 35. Um, the batting average is still Bobby Witt's at 346, and I think he gained a few points. Aaron Judd is still sitting there at third at 323, but he's catching the second place Stephen Wayne Quayne from Cleveland. He's 327. Like I said, he could probably finish second as far as coming with the triple crown. He's got
Right.
105 RBIs right now. And like you posted there on our page about him, he's probably they said the best player in the next 30 years, which I think they also need to put Otani up there with him, um, because you'll never see the likes of Otani either. It's like Babe Ruth, watching Babe Ruth. Really, I
Right.
mean, he pitches, he hits, which he's DHing. So I mean, with him being a pitcher, you don't want him out in the field getting hurt.
Mhm.
So I mean, he can play the field, but so we got two of the top probably players in the MLB that will finish in the very top at the end of their careers right now playing.
Right. Because you got to think how hard that triple crown is. I was just thinking because Aaron Judge all is what you call it. He's leading on home runs because you pretty much every time he's at bat, he's going to be swinging that bat,
Hmm.
and it's just like if you swing it like that, yeah, you might get a lot of home runs, but you also going to get a lot of strikeouts.
And which that dude is huge.
He is.
And I'm trying to bring up real fast.
I like to get drunk in a bar where he's there and have to get over there and be like, "Hey, buddy, you nah, just stop me in the ground. Hey, buddy, you don't want none of this."
I can't remember. Let's see here. I'm trying to bring Barry Bonds' stats up from 2001. That's when the year he hit 73 home runs. Yeah, and I know people are going to say steroid air, steroid air.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this right now, and I think we may have said it on our one of our episodes before. Um, yeah, he may have took steroids, but the thing is, you still got to be able to hit the ball. Steroids don't make you a hitter.
It don't.
Um, so I mean, I don't people. I mean, you got to use a little common sense. I mean, I could take somebody off the street and pump them full of steroids, and they don't make them a football player, don't make them a baseball player. So, I mean, only thing that does is make them hit the ball a little farther. But
uh,
I'm trying to see. Now, and here's what gets me about. And I heard an announcer said this. Okay, and they were going by. Well, look at the size of his head. Look how big his head is. And they said something about somebody else like that too. He's on steroids. Look at his head. You can't go by their head.
I
My,
know.
my head's bigger now than it was when I was in my 20s. So the older you get, your noggin's going to get bigger.
Right.
I mean, look at LeBron, and you look when he was younger.
Hmm.
His head's bigger. It comes with age. I don't know what it is. It just comes with age. Um, but yeah, they were saying, well, he's because of his head size. You can't go by the head size. And I ain't saying he didn't juice up because I mean he was a skinny little thing, and then he beefed up. But let's see if I got his stats up here. If they bring him up, what I was trying to get at. Um, Let me just type something else in. It's not one to show. It's got a big report on him here. Um, let's see. See what I can get right here.
Okay.
Uh, I don't know why they gotta make it so hard all the time. Here we go. All right. All right. That's what I was looking for here. Let me get down to 2001. Okay, 2001 right here. We got Barry Bonds, and I'm trying to see where's his walks at. Right there. Okay, he came in the league in '86. Um, and that year, now this is his first year, his rookie year, he walked 65 times. Okay,
Dang.
two. Let's see. Let me make sure that's the right one there, because I got to scroll up to the top to see. Let's see. Yep, that's it there. All right. Dear. Okay, 2001, the year that he hit those 73 home runs, he walked 177 times, but that wasn't his most. The next year in 2002, he walked 198 times, and in 2004, he was walked 232 times. So they were walking him a lot to keep him from hitting. So if he wouldn't have walked uh, as much, it's hard to tell he would have hit 80 home runs.
Right.
Um, but the thing is, I think that year he broke that home run record of Mark McGuire's. If I'm not mistaken, he was hitting a home run every bats or every nine at bats. He was hitting a home run is what it equaled out to.
Wow.
So, but I mean, he had an eye for the ball, and really, when you go with the steroid era they talk about in baseball in '98, when not Barry Bonds, when Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa was at the Chase and they broke it that same year.
Mm-hmm.
That was the best when it came to baseball. It was the most fun that year. And they can't say it wasn't. MLB can't say it wasn't. That was the best year for baseball. Was '98. The chase for the home run. And the thing is, even Griffey never took steroids. But if I'm not mistaken, Griffey would hit 55, 56 home runs.
Right.
And so just to say that those guys hit those home runs because of steroids is not correct. Mark McGuire, his rookie year, hit 49 home runs, and he wasn't on roids then. So, I mean, you can't say, well, they hit all them home runs because of steroids. No, it's not. That's not the case.
But here's my thing, and this is just my thing with me. This is conspiracy that I believe. You might even believe it too once you hear it, because it makes sense. I believe the league knew they was juicing up anyway, and just didn't. They just didn't enforce it. They just didn't do anything about it
They
because
they changed they changed some laws or rules or whatever. See, it's like, all right, you remember when creatine came out, like weightlifting stuff? It was on the shelf. You
right,
got
yeah,
all this stuff was coming out at GNC and stuff. Everybody was taking it or whatever, and then they started outlawing it. Well, in sports, you can't take it here and stuff like that. Um, and a lot of this stuff was getting banned. So they was using it. They was using stuff with like in gummies and different other stuff. But then they didn't start doing no drug testing until after supposedly the reports come out that they were juicing. But I mean, you looked at McGuire, the dude's, I don't know how big his arms were, 16, 18 inches. Jose Canseco has some big arms.
hmm
He juiced.
yeah. He's the one who got busted, and he just
Yeah,
ratted everybody else. Well,
yeah,
this guy, he told on everybody.
rid of everybody. He threw everybody on the bus. But I mean, and but I don't know. To me, I always said do it this way. drug test them, and the ones that want a juice or whatever, you put them in a separate category from the ones not.
Yeah.
Because you got the ones from years past, you got Stan Musial and all them. You just put them on a separate category. The roids category, and then just the regular. Because I don't care what they say, 98 for baseball was fun. It was fun to watch. I mean, you had Mark McGuire hitting 500-foot home runs. I mean, Sammy
Right.
Sosa, and even Ken Griffey, and he wasn't even on roids, man. He'd hit a 500-foot shot. He had the best swing ever in baseball by far. He
Yeah.
had the smoothest swing and everything else. So that's just me with when it comes to the baseball end of things. With supposedly the roid hair and everything else, and actually supposedly Roger Clemens was with that, one of your better pitchers too. But
Right. And here's a question for you. Now, so like I said, I don't know baseball. You think the Royce issue is going to keep them out the Hall of Fame? Because I remember they was talking about Barry Bonds going in there and Mark McGuire going in there, but then the Royce thing happened. So I don't know if they're going there because if you ask me, I don't know how where Pete Rose would fit on this because they've kept him out of the Hall of Fame for years, and
yeah,
that was because he was
gambling.
gambling or so-called gambling because he said he wasn't, and everybody
Yeah.
else says he is, but they have definite proof that these guys was on roids.
Well,
So I
right
don't
now
know.
they're not in the Hall of Fame. Um, and to me, I mean, I if if Pete Rose don't get in, there's no way that they'll get in. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't see it that way. To me, I think Pete Rose should be in it. Um, but I doubt they'll ever put Barry Bonds, Mark McGuire, and Roger Clemens, Jose Canseco, or any of those in there. Um, because there's been so many people that's been left out of the Hall of Fame that didn't do roids and had good careers.
right,
But I don't see them getting in
right. Or if they do get in, they'll do one of those. How they do? They screw you over. All of it is the minute you die, he's a Hall of Famer.
it. All right, we'll be moving right along. We're getting down to the last 20 minutes or so of our episode, and we'll move right along with the subject, the sport that we love, and I'm excited about. It's getting closer. Uh, actually, let's see. What's today? Today's the 10th,
Yep.
17th, 3 weeks away. I'll be in
Yep.
Morgantown.
You got 21 days to your game.
Yeah, 21 days and everything. So I'm excited for that college to get kicked off, and just as much excited to see the NFL season kick off and how our buddy Caleb Williams is going to do.
Right.
And you was giving him some props. I'm gonna bring this up as soon as I find it. Um, there it is. The Bears put a whooping on the Bills, but it wasn't because of Caleb. But all right, let's do it this way. Caleb Williams was 4 of 7 for 95 yards. So he played one series. I didn't get to watch none of the games. I'm trying to pull these games up. I can't get these preseason games up for some reason. But all right, you can look at this however you want to. Okay, he's 4 of 7 for 95 yards, but it's against second stringers or third
Mhm.
stringers or however you want to put it. So, all right, all right, he done all right. He done 4 of 7. Okay, he didn't throw no interceptions, but we'll see what happens coming when the season starts. Because
Right.
you and I are going to be keeping an eye on it, a lot of other people, because
Oh yeah.
there's a lot wanting to see or waiting to see him fail because he's going to be a big bust. Because I still think he is because I don't know, he needs a piece of that humble pie.
Yeah, he do.
But there's all kinds of preseason games, and I don't put much much thought or how you say it into these preseason games because they are what they are preseason. They're not even your starters. Um, it's like the Chiefs law right now. Well, they're in the fourth quarter now, and they're still playing. Jaguars 23, Chiefs 13. There actually there's a few games still going on,
Right.
but I mean these are players trying to make it on the roster, so you don't have your starters and everything else. But we had some moves going on. Brandon Ayuk is it's looking he's going to be a Steeler. So
Yeah, it's looking that way.
and here's my thing. That's like you and I was mentioning this. All right, he's going to the Steelers. And I know you Steeler fans are excited and everything else. Um, but man, I don't know. As of right now, I don't know where. I don't even know if the Steelers are a playoff team this year.
I don't think they are.
Um,
It's kind of hard because honestly, and I hate to say it, I don't know if the Bengals is going to be a playoff contender. You got to look at out of all four of them teams that's in that division, only two can really make the playoffs. You got Baltimore, and they look like they a shoe in. Then you got Bengals, you got Steelers, and you got Browns. And the Browns almost got. Oh yeah, I couldn't send it to you because it was a video. But here's the thing: the Browns is about to set a record, an NFL record that no team has ever done. The Browns, since they, because Browns are technically an expansion team. Because remember, Baltimore left,
yeah,
and then they got the expansion team. They built a new stadium, and it's like they are these Browns right here are the only team in the NFL that has never hosted a playoff game in their stadium. And they're getting ready to tear that stadium down in I think they said 2026 and build them a new stadium.
where they
If
building that stadium at?
I don't know, they're building it somewhere. But now the thing is, if they don't host a playoff game before they start building that new stadium, they will be the only team in NFL history that has never had a playoff game in their stadium. Never hosted a playoff game. And so, with that being said, you would think the Cleveland Browns would fight a little bit more to get in there, get a top seed, and so they can host a playoff game.
you
I
know
am voting all against that.
you know the old Browns. They won. They've got two Super Bowls.
Yeah,
That old
with a little
Browns
black
red.
bird on their
Yeah,
helmet.
but and the thing is, and you was telling me the Browns they were trying to get Brandon Ayuk.
Yep,
They was going to give up
Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper, but on the high side thing, I can see they're getting a younger receiver, but Cooper's a bigger receiver than Brandon Ayuk, I think. Well, he looks like it anyway.
Hmm.
But but the Browns ain't they are not known for doing smart moves anyway. But they're going to get ready to give up a lot to get him.
Yep.
And my thing is, I understand you're going for money and everything else. Why not go to a team that's going to be able to compete for a playoff spot? Because I'm going to tell you this: the Steelers are uncertain what they are. I mean, just being honest.
Right now, the Steelers might. Here's the thing: I can count on the Steelers making a last minute at the end of the year run. And the what reason why I say the end of the year run is because
No,
I think Russell Wilson will mess up. I know you talk about all them games how it's loaded, it's stacked at
yeah,
the end.
no, they ain't making no run. They're making a run to the house. They ain't making no run to the playoffs because that them last 8 games, they going. They be lucky to go 2-5
Right.
or two. Well, that's a 7 games there, but I'll just say let's just say 2-6,
Uh-huh.
2-6. With that loaded schedule,
But I'm
but
thinking Ayuk is thinking if Justin Field can get in there, he's thinking with his speed and with his skills, they could probably do something. Because you'll
that's
have Ayuk. who's the other receiver? I think Pickens is still there, and that's the bad part. I don't know who Pittsburgh players. In fact, did I don't remember one time Pittsburgh was talking about trading Najee Harris. So I don't even know if they still got him.
They got him. They still got Najee, but they're talking about trying to get rid of him, get some stock for him. And I just now seen this, which one of my buddies who's a Ravens fan, he said I give him 2 or 3 weeks and he'll be out hurt. Well, he got hurt in the first quarter in the Chiefs game today, and that's Brown.
Oh,
He says exits the first quarter with shoulder.
oh,
So now we need to sign Juju Smith. Go,
yeah.
go ahead and sign Juju Smith. Get rid of drop Tony hands.
I know.
And uh
That's
man,
really what happened. Tony got one of them voodoo dolls and he stuck it in his shoulder. He said, I bet I get in this game.
but I just seen that pop up. But and we was getting ready mentioning this because we're getting close on our time
Mm,
about Juju Smith being dropped from the Patriots. And he's only 27 years old. And if I'm a Chiefs, I seen all Chiefs fans on that page saying bring him back, bring him back. And at first I'm thinking, we really don't need him. But then I got to thinking, you know what? Just drop Tony
yep.
and then bring in him, put him on the roster. Because 27, he should still have some at least a little bit left in the tank.
Yeah. They just do him like they did him one last time they were. He only came for that 1 year deal. They only signed him to a 1 year deal. I'd sign
That
him to another 1 year deal.
yeah, and I don't know because that game's still going on right now, so they ain't had no post game anything post game at all. And the only thing it just says right now is shoulder injury and was a questionable return, and that's it. So, and this right here is why um, they don't play your starters in preseason. This right here.
Yep.
Um, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully that's nothing major. Hopefully it was just a stinger or something. Which Hollywood Brown, he ain't a big dude. He's small.
Yeah.
So he's like what 5'9", if that
Yep.
5'8". So and the times that he was there in Baltimore, he stayed hurt. So we'll see what happens there. And
Yeah,
I'm
because he
trying to,
went from Baltimore to the Cardinals,
yeah,
which was like he left Baltimore because he wanted out of Baltimore because he wasn't getting the ball. Lamar was not going to throw it. Get
no.
down to the Cardinals. Now you got a team that ain't going to win.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Baltimore. I was watching a thing there. It's on the fantasy football. Them guys talking, and here's my thing. They got Derrick Henry, which the dude's a beast,
Hmm.
is one of your top backs for this year. But here's my thing. What I've seen of Lamar Jackson, when he gets on that read run option or RPO or whatever, um, he's going to keep it himself.
He is.
He's a selfish player when it comes to that. Even though when he should hand the ball off, he's going to keep it. So he's going to take some snaps away from Derrick Henry
Hmm.
unless he starts wising up a little bit. Let Derrick Henry take because that dude's a beast. Let him take some of the punishment.
But you know what? Here's the bad news. The bad luck thing about Baltimore. And I haven't been paying attention. I just thought about it when we started talking about it. Derrick Henry went to Baltimore to run. Derrick Henry has the whole time when he was in Tennessee. Did you ever hear about him being hurt?
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind that the last couple of running backs that Baltimore had, they've all torn their ACL.
They lost three in one season.
Yeah, Gus Edwards for
Gus
that eight.
Edwards, you had the other guy they got now. He's still on the roster, Hill or somebody. They lost three. They lost three in one season.
Yeah, I just got to think about it. I was like, oh, Derek might not be running up there not long.
Yeah, they lost three in that one season the year before last. I mean, it was just like one after another, dropping like flies.
Yep.
But it's getting closer, and I can't wait. Um, and like I mentioned, we and before, I'll be going headed to Charlotte to watch the Chiefs,
Yep.
and I may next year they'll probably be coming to Cincinnati since they alternate. And that's when I first watched them in person. Is last year before last in Cincinnati. So, but I don't know if they got any more. Let's get back here and make sure there's no more injury. Well, that's right, Drew Lock. He had a hip pointer. They said he would be out for a while. He got hurt. Oh, Jordan Love threw a 65-yard touchdown pass.
Okay.
He got all that money now, so he can sling it.
Yep.
And let's see. And I don't see. They said Bears was raving over Caleb Williams' preseason debut, 4-7. Like I said, we'll see what happens here in 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
I want to see him play a real contender. Buffalo to me is not going to be a contender. Everybody talking about Buffalo. Buffalo is not going to be a contender.
No, I don't. I don't see it. We'll see what happens. I mean, he got nobody really throw to.
Yep. He lost. They lost. All their starting receivers is gone. All their starting secondary was gone.
They got old boy that walks around with no shoes.
Yeah, he's one of their receivers. I can't even remember what this dude's name is.
Sharik, whatever his name is, or something. I don't
He said shoes are a tool. I'm like,
know.
dude.
All right. Well, we better start getting this wrapped up. You got anything else you want to mention before we get this?
No, I don't have anything we need to add.
Um. Well, here's the thing, real fast. It says the Finns lose backup offensive lineman Smith to an ACL tear.
Who lost him?
The Dolphins, a backup lineman,
Oh,
offensive lineman, torn ACL. That just came up. So, but well, we're getting ready to close this out. This episode here, we'll be back on live Tuesday morning 11, correct?
yep. I'm gonna do it Tuesday morning at 11.
And we'll be back live. Don't know if we'll have a whole lot. That one may not go as quite as long, but we'll see. Me and Cool Beans can talk forever when it comes to football. So,
We sure can.
and I'd say there'll be some more moving around or whatever. But as we always do in these episodes, if you're thinking about hurting yourself or taking your life, we got the quick number on there, 988, which takes
Hmm.
you, that's your Veterans Crisis Hotline. It's 1-800-273-8255. Or you can go to your local VA medical center, and there's people there on staff 24/7. They get you in contact to talk to someone, but always keep in contact with your battle buddies and watch for any changes in their behavior. It's not norm of the norm, and if so, if you need to contact your chain of command or something if you're still serving in the military right now or anything. Just keep an eye on each other because I mean it's the suicide is serious stuff going on today, and just talk to somebody. It does help out. It takes a load off of you. It really does. But is that all you got? You got anything else, Beans?
I got nothing else.
All right, this will be it for this episode. Y'all have a good night and rest of a good weekend, and we'll see you Tuesday live. Have a good night.
Alrighty.